In this video, you'll learn the actual learning and development investment your company needs to make to ensure your employees use AI to its full capabilities while retaining and attracting talent. Let's accelerate your business. Welcome to the AI Accelerator for Business show brought to you by 0to60.ai, where you get the latest strategies, tactics, and information about the business benefits of artificial intelligence. My name is Carl Ye. I'm joined by my co-host, Jeff Bradshaw. And today we're talking about training, AI training, and career development. So, Jeff, the reason why I wanted to bring this on is because right now, a lot of employees or all employees are hearing, hey, you need to upgrade your AI skills because you need to remain employable. And one of those skills, obviously in terms of AI, is, what do employers look for? And we're starting to see this in job postings, the type of AI skills. But also, how will your career progress and how do you gain those skills? And this is in reference also to another Nate Jones video where he was talking about how, you know, your manager, your current boss, your directors has direct impact on your ability to take these skills based on their willingness and knowledge of fighting for you to get that training, get those more advanced tools for your organization, other than you having to go out and do all this yourself.
Well, and it's an important topic, Carl, because I mean, I think that the companies that underfund AI training and tooling today risk losing their best people and their competitive advantage, because I think employees will be looking for companies that are offering AI support and AI training as much as companies are going to start looking for people that have these skills. And I think it is, I think that we've seen it too often where companies will check the box and say, well, we're using Copilot, so we're good, but they don't back it up with any kind of training. They don't support other tools. And so people are kind of locked into, well, this is the tool we selected, and they don't provide that support. And your good people may look at a competitor and say, you know what, they've got way more flexible opportunities. They've got better training, and I'm going to make that shift because for me personally, it's going to make my job easier, but it's also going to allow me to advance my skill set and make me more valuable.
And at the same time, those employers who are providing that level of training, the level of tools, most likely have some sort of AI strategy that is, leveraging those skills to take their business in a completely higher or better direction than maybe where they just pick Copilot and that's kind of it, right?
I was just going to say as well that I think that it's what ends up happening too is employers will pick that one tech savvy individual and say, okay, well, let's make them our AI expert. And they might provide training for them, but they ignore everybody else. And I think based on the Nate Jones video and what we've seen is that you got to provide training to a broader, a wider berth of your employee base.
We talk about this a lot when we do our presentations. Imagine training 20 to 25 people, giving them, let's say, two. And when we talk about training, we're not talking 2 lunch and learns and maybe an LMS module, right? We're talking ongoing, every month you train, get people up on the new tools, get people up on the techniques, trends, and really hold them accountable to actually using AI. So if you give company like employees, let's say 20 of them, $4,000 worth of training a year, plus, and that's included, let's say, more advanced tools, like something not even a $20 ChatGPT is maybe not enough, right? Maybe a Claude Max plan. So it's only it's $140 a month, right? So if you package that all together, your 20 employees will be leveled up quite significantly, which then they'll be able to do a lot more leveraging AI in their skills and their subject knowledge versus just hiring one person, let's say at 100,000 plus benefits, and you'll get way more out of your company. But I can't understand why companies don't connect that, because it's for them. It's like, hey, you know what? It's easier for us to hire and maybe get rid of people than training our own people, totally leveling them up for the exact same price of a new employee.
Think about some of our applications, some of our clients. I mean, when we go out and we take a task that an employee's been doing that normally takes them, let's say, 4 days a month, and they're able to cut it down to 30 minutes. So 4 days a month, multiply what you pay that person times 4 days, whatever it is it $1,000? Is it $2,000? That's 1 month. So
Yeah.
if you invest $3,000, $4,000 into that person's training over 12 months, you're getting a massive return on your investment, just by that time savings for one task. Imagine if they start doing 4 or 5 other tasks because of their training, because they're able to use these AI tools and become more efficient. It is an actual investment. It's not an expense. And I think that's the way that executives need to look at it.
There's three big things that we see here. Like the first one is the craziest one I see is the company will be, you know what, we're waiting to see how things play out, or we just want to get an understanding of the capabilities, which is like you're just literally sitting on the sidelines waiting for the perfect tool for your company. And I was like, you'll never know because this thing just is ridiculously fast, right? That's one. Then the second one is, hey, let's give everyone a co-pilot license, pat ourselves on the back and be like, hey, now we're an AI forward company, right? Then the third one is, hey, our annual budget is only this. So we got to pick a tool. We can only allot $400 per employee, and that includes all the other software they need. And that's kind of it, right? So we see these three items a lot. And I guess it's just part of legacy business operations. And that's really not good enough. Because, okay, so our last episode, we talked about the non-tech, like the transferable skills, AI skills you need. So going beyond tools. And for the most part, all of those skills require people to regularly use AI and also have access to quite a breadth of tools. But what I just mentioned of those three stances that companies take, that's not congruent. It's going to run into you're actually not benefiting your employees. So I guess but it's also a difficult thing to ask the company to be put in because that's just not how they've ever operated, and most of their people aren't used to that type of new environment that they need to be in.
Well, and I mean, this is what we do with our accelerator program with a lot of companies is we provide that training on a monthly basis, but we're also tasking the people that are part of those accelerator groups to go away and come back and show us what you did the past few weeks using the AI tools. So we almost force their hands into using them. And the old, saying that I always refer to is, give a man a fish, feed him for a day, teach him to fish, feed him for a lifetime. And I think that's what we're trying to do is saying that if you can educate your employees, educate your overall organization, um, you're going to be able to self-sustain and start to find these efficiencies. You don't have to have guys like Carl and Jeff coming in constantly to do the work for you. You can start to do it yourselves. We're there to help get you down the path and starting to learn these skills, and we can provide the basics, but ultimately you want to become self-sustaining.
What I'm finding is a lot of individual employees are actually going out and especially the more proactive, more take initiative employees, they'll go out and go spend their own money training themselves, accessing the more breadth of tools because they know what is coming and what they need to do to level up. It's just unfortunate employers haven't caught up yet, and they're more focused on ensuring, oh, we know AI is important, but we got to give the tool to employees, but we'll just give them one tool and, good luck with that. And they haven't really pieced it together why this is important and why I think this is a consideration or even an attractive incentive for people to come to your organization. Because I haven't seen yet. It's like, you know what? Well, part of the package of, if we, as a recruiter or recruiting employees, would be like, hey, we're going to give you $1,000. You know how you get like $500 per personal health spending with some companies. Yeah, we're going to give you $500 of AI training, whether we train you or you find out yourself, because it's important too.
Well, and we see it in our groups, and there's usually every company we go into, there's usually at least one, sometimes two people that get it. And we're talking employees that get it and are taking the initiative themselves. And we've had just even the past couple of weeks, we've had guys they're taking night courses on their own. They're flipping the bill themselves because they see the potential of where things are going. And yet these employers are still caught in this, well, don't really understand it. So, let's not move too quickly. And well, you're going to, like we talked about, you're going to lose some of those key
Yeah.
individuals that can really help the growth of your organization if you're too slow moving for them. They're going to find the organization that's more progressive.
And there's also a problem with, and it's a security problem too, is if you deploy one set of tool. So let's say you deploy a Microsoft Copilot, and employees aren't finding that it's either disappointing or it can't do the job that you want it to do, then they're going to go off and use their own AI tool. Now that presents a larger issue because we all know every single company we work with, people have been using whatever tool if the company doesn't provide the tool or locks down the tool or provides a tool that is not related to what they're doing, right? So there are some good uses of Copilot, but not all 200, 300 of your employees need it. Maybe some of them need a Higgs field. Maybe some of them need a ChatGPT for business. And then what's happening is they bring that in and they're going to use their tool and put company data in. And that's more of a security risk because you don't know what they're doing. And we have example after example of companies, of employees, of IT professionals saying, oh, no one's using it. You're using other tools except for this. But then we talk to employees during discovery or outside of work and they're using whatever tool, right?
Yeah. You
Yeah.
know what? But we also, we understand where executives are coming from. When you start to have guys like us coming in and saying, well, you should invest $2,000-$4,000 per employee on training, it I get it, because we're like, hey, we're going to take you to the promised land. This is really going to pay off. And yet it's so new that a lot of executives are going, well, wait a minute, I've tested things in the past and we've wasted a lot of money. We get that too. But I still think that, AI is not going away. It's not a passing fad. It's only getting better. It's coming out as faster and faster. There might be some hiccups along the road, but you got to start at least moving in that direction. Start investing some dollars and allocating some budget to the training and exploring this. And maybe it's not your entire employee base, but start with a chunk, a percentage of your employees. And then once you start to see the payoff, then you're going to be more confident investing more dollars in it. But you got to, it's a wise investment. And I know that might sound like like I say, we're taking you to the promised land. But I mean, if you take a look at what it's done so far in the past couple of years, imagine where it's going to be 2 years from now.
I think people are missing out that imagine if your entire company, or at least 50% of your company, were just 20% better at prompting. Just 20%. The productivity you'll gain from that is quite significant, but I think people are missing that out. And also, again, mentioning the video that we did earlier about transferable AI skills, which you can, which I'll provide a link above and in the description. We talk about like the only way you can get that is if people use AI on a regular basis. Get those skills to be able to dissect complex problems, right? Get the skills to know when to, start a project or task with AI or start it a human started, right? Start discerning when AI is hallucinating, but it sounds so convincing. All these different transferable skills that go beyond tool set. The only way your employees will know this will be to have the training and to have access to more of the latest tools so they can understand its capabilities and start problem solving rather than just using AI as a glorified Google.
There's so many different types of training out there. There's paid courses. You could bring guys like us in and we provide training for clients. Absolutely. There's courses online. I think you want to be, you want to double check the training that you're providing and make sure that it's relevant, current training. But there's also stuff that companies could be doing on their own. Allocate and say it's okay for employees to take an hour or two a week to do their own training online. There's lots of information. There's tons of video. Take a look at our podcasts. I mean, what do we got? 20, 30 podcasts that people could just start to watch our podcasts and get a ton of information for free. It's just a matter of making it a priority. So again, there's different ways that you can provide this training for employees.
I also think that there's the term of mechanical horse, right? So like early people who bought cars thought that cars are just a mechanical horse. Obviously, that's not. Or when you bought the first TV, you thought it was just a picture with radio on it, right? But I think this is where it is that a lot of managers, senior directors, VPs are still thinking AI as just another software category, and they're treating it as such, but it's not, because it has the big transformative effect to your entire business, to your entire workflow and operations. We've seen it with all the discovery work we've done. So you can't have that mental model. But at the same time, if you do, and if you're only budgeting like 20, even the $20 a month per employee is not enough anymore, right? Because you have AI is changing so fast. So I think those are the things that current directors and VPs and so on have to understand and have to fight for their employees. And so if your director, your VP isn't fighting to get you access to get this training, then you kind of have to start questioning, who are they really in it for me in my career? Because as employees, I think it's very important to look at organizations that you can get that, or you have to go outside and get it yourself, because I think we all see the employability of what AI can provide.
What and just one other note with that too is I think that it has to start at the top. How often do we go into meetings and we get executives saying, "Absolutely, we need to do this. So you go train those guys, but I'm too old, or I'm not
Yes.
technical, or I don't understand this." And I'm going, that's totally a lazy response. It needs to start at the top. I just shared our video that we did a year and a half ago, and it says you as the leader of the company need to be the most well versed on AI technology, and you need to be educated. It's not an IT department thing. It's not something you just hand off to people. You need to understand it yourself. So I think that education starts right at the top, from the CEO level all the way down through, because then you're providing the proper leadership, and providing an example to your employees as to the commitment that you have.
And I think in the end too, if you don't start investing, the AI tooling will get more expensive, right? As more powerful models come in, they're going to start charging you more. But then it's like, then you have a whole bunch of people with this most powerful tool, and most people don't know how to use it, or using it to it's a very substandard to all its capabilities. So a question for our audience though is your VP, director, C-suite engaged and really putting in the resources to allow you to improve your career in it, giving you the AI skills to move forward with your career? And if yes, who are those organizations so people can want to work for them? And if not, why not? Learn more about AI training and development for your business by watching these videos here. Enjoy today's episode? Want to learn how AI can impact your business? Then please subscribe to this channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.